Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Happy Monday to you and your family. We're taking a look here, of course, at Quant. I got a lot of requests from this one recently, and just want to make sure to go ahead and cover this so you understand, best practice, big picture, so you kind of help, I don't know, maybe just guide you on a more informed decision, or just see what my take is, right? Because I'm not perfect, don't get me wrong, but I do have a pretty high trading percentage. I've been trading for a very long time, so it does add up to something. A lot of it's just based strictly on technical analysis. Obviously, you do some fundamental analysis, it's important, but that's a conversation for another day. That being said, not a financial advisor. I love teaching people to trade. I hope you can learn something here today. And if you do, obviously, comment below. Let me know if this, if you find benefit. And if you would like to become a better trader, I do have a trading academy where I teach you how to trade, a community and signal group. We all learn and grow together. It's a fantastic experience. Had a lot of graduates recently too. Let me know that it worked out very well for them. So thank you so much for the kind feedback. Greatly appreciate that. So taking a look here at Quant. Something we want to recognize, kind of the elephant in the room, is that we are still in a descending type of trend, right? So the price action's still progressing lower, essentially, and until we break through that little barrier, you could say, then we can expect the price action to kind of stay where it's at. In other words, until we break that, we're in a descending trend, all right? So even though we bounced off a key level support, we can see this previously as a support level back in January, which a lot of coins, coincidentally, have strong support levels established in January, based on that being like the first bottom for Bitcoin, right? That was like, what, 48,000, I think we were testing somewhere in that range. Maybe even a little bit higher, and that essentially allowed for some strong support levels to become established, and it's getting retested here again recently. So good news is the bottom is tentatively in until we see how the price action responds. So if we can break $100 today, fantastic. If we can break above that descending trend, even better, right? So important things to recognize there. Taking a look at of course, the MACD, we can see it's still diverging, for lack of better terms, but it is more potential for it to converge eventually. So over the next couple of days/weeks, we should expect that to kind of shift in momentum. Again, a lot of it's depending on Bitcoin. I feel like Bitcoin's bottom is tentatively in. While we could see a little bit lower, of course, it does feel like Bitcoin wants to kind of stay where it's at the 20,000 range. That being said, Bitcoin can establish a nice base of volume at 20,000. QNT will likely take off. It's a coin that just naturally does that. But again, it requires Bitcoin to be doing at least average, okay? Which is why we see a nice green day here today. But more important, we see all the moving averages still tentatively above. We're tentatively above the 200, which is fantastic. Candlestick hasn't closed yet though, okay? So we gotta recognize that. But we can see that it works as a strong support level in the past. And even though we broke down below it, if we can close above it today, that'd be very helpful. And then once again, breaking above the 50 would be the most impactful situation there, because that would really help us know that we're on the right side of the tracks. So until QNT is up over like 106, 107, I wouldn't feel very comfortable taking a trade, because again, you want to make sure you get confirmation. We don't have that yet. So taking a look at the 4-hour, we can see a very similar scenario here, essentially, whereas the price action is below the 200-day set moving average. That is an important factor. Once again, that's trending right here above, and the Fibonacci retracement level right around 111. So 106 to 111 should be a key level resistance. We're probably going to expect to see some rejection if it comes up to this level. Okay, that's just something to kind of pay attention to. RSI right at 50. A lot of coins are at 50 because they got overextended to the downside here recently, and they're testing that key level resistance, such as Bitcoin at 20,400. We break that level of 20,400 for Bitcoin, we'll see QNT probably take off and break 100. Coincidentally, they're very similar in price action right now. Okay, so again, we're looking good there in that sense. That's mostly positive. What's also positive too is the MACD convergence. We've got a MACD convergence almost across the board with all altcoins right now, and that's just stemmed from the fact that they all got hammered in the last couple of days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and now they're starting to recover because they were overextended. So let's take a look at overextension, see if there's anything here kind of letting us know. We were at a 9 on TD sequential, so we had a full 36 hours of downside, plus overtime, and then a small recovery, and then a dip again. So generally speaking, QNT has been kind of getting pushed through the grinder. So it makes sense that it's recovering here today. But I would urge caution to wait for confirmation. And to me, confirmation is the price breaking above this key level resistance at 100, coming back down to consolidate at that level, and then the next leg up. Okay. We also want to take a look at the hourly and kind of see where we're at here. Let's start with TD sequential on the hourly. We can see that we've hit some exhaustive states previously. We came all the way down to a 9 here, got a reset up to an 8. back down to an 8, and then up to a 9 plus overtime. So right now we are technically overextended to the upside, which it makes sense as to why the price action is getting rejected right now, because it's been pushing hard for a while. So what would be ideal is for the price action to come down and bounce off the most recent high and to effectively give us an increase. So hypothetically, we could see a bounce right around 97. That's just kind of a rough estimate, 97.30 I think it is, but that is kind of what should happen. In other words, we'd create higher low by doing that and continue the higher highs, right, if we break 100. So that's what we're looking for. That's confirmation that you want to try to find before you take a trade. I know it can be difficult to be patient because trading, you feel like you're missing out on opportunities, but in truth, it's best sometimes just to walk away. In some cases, the best trade is no trade. I teach that a lot in my trading academy, and it's just kind of an interesting thing. It's an odd thought because our initial reaction is to want to get in and to not miss the fun, right? But oftentimes when something's overextended like this and you don't have confirmation, you're kind of, I don't know, you're pissing into the wind. Is that a good term to use? I don't know. It seems kind of vulgar, but generally speaking, you're not doing yourself any favors, right? So taking a look here. One last thing to note is that we are up over, conversion line is basically free and clear price action, right? So even if the price action comes back down here, we would see the same thing from the conversion line, or correction, I'm sorry, I misspoke, the lagging span. The lagging span is essentially free and clear. And what that basically just means on the Ichimoku cloud is that when it's free and clear of the price action, it's letting you know that it can still continue to run. Basically, you want to keep your position open. Hypothetically, this intersects, comes down, crashing down. You'd want to close your position here essentially and ensure that you wait for confirmation to the downside if it were to. But the thing that we need to recognize is that we are still not above the cloud. We kind of got rejected at the top of the cloud, which is happening a lot with other coins. Bitcoin's testing it right now too. So hypothetically, the price action comes down and continues sideways, we're all good. The price action keeps going down and comes right back down below the cloud again, that'd be disadvantageous, that'd be bad, right? That's why we wait for confirmation. So again, taking a look at the cloud, there's 3 out of 3 green lights here letting you know that a long position is viable. Not necessarily that you want to take one, but that you could leave your long position open. And then of course, once you have confirmation, that's when you'd want to take a position if you don't have one open already. Okay. Again, a myriad of different things that you can kind of think about, but generally speaking, QNT is looking pretty decent. We just got to recognize that there's going to be a key level resistance here between 106 and 111, and that's going to potentially hold the price action down. If we break above 100, we should see a run to 106. That would make sense considering the circumstances. Now, what would also make sense is if Bitcoin were to break 20,400, we'll see a closure above 100 on QNT here today, and that would be very positive as well. So again, so just some really good things that you can kind of see and recognize here. Mostly good stuff here, but you just got to keep in mind today's day number 1 of getting hammered for 5 days in a row. So it's normal for things to recover. So let's not get ahead of ourselves and think that we have broken bullishly for QNT because we have a 10% day. That's not the case. All right. Please recognize that. And those are things that I like to kind of try to teach and recommend that you understand and think about big picture, because it's really easy to jump into something thinking it's red light, green light. But right now at this point, we just need to wait and be patient. But we're almost there. I think if we get break a closure above 100 today, get that confirmation, consolidate at support, we should likely see a continuation pending Bitcoin doesn't dump once more. All right, you got to recognize that. That's why I always evaluate Bitcoin every single day. Take a look at that video if you have any interest. If you become a Bitcoin professional, all the other altcoins make so much more sense. It's kind of the foundation. Obviously, you probably already know that if you've been trading for a while. All right, thanks again for joining me here. I look forward to seeing the next one if you're not currently a community member. Again, CryptoCache.tech is a site. Link in the description below. I do offer military and third world country discounts also, so be sure to message me if you have any questions there. Thank you so much for your time. We'll see you in the next one.